The Abomination of Replacement. Written by Christopher Turner, founder and editor-in-chief of Heritage Weekly. First, a word from our sponsors. Explore Christopher Turner's books on Kindle for in-depth studies on Israelite heritage and scriptural truths. Like and support to help continue spreading valuable content. Back to your content. Imagine waking up one day to find your lands stolen, your identity erased, and your heritage rewritten, only to see others parade your stolen legacy as their own. This is not fiction, this is the untold story of the Israelites, the covenant people of Yahweh, whose legacy was systematically erased, replaced and rebranded. The theft didn't happen overnight, it was a deliberate, calculated act of spiritual and cultural warfare. For centuries the world has been fed a false narrative, leaving the real Israelites scattered, silenced and hidden in plain sight. Today the truth is breaking through the layers of lies. This is the story of the greatest replacement in history. The great land heist, from Israel to Palestine. It began with the land. The Israelites' connection to the land of Israel is not merely historical, it's spiritual, covenantal. Yahweh himself promised it to Abraham's descendants, Genesis. But after the Israelites were exiled and scattered by the Assyrians, Babylonians and finally the Romans, the land became the battleground for identity theft. In 135 CE, following the Bar Kokhba revolt, the Roman Emperor Hadrian renamed the land Syria Palestina, erasing the name Israel from official records. This was no coincidence, it was a calculated move to break the spirit of the people and sever their ties to the land. The name Palestine was tied to the Philistines, ancient enemies of Israel, adding insult to injury. As centuries passed, the land changed hands, from the Romans to the Byzantines, Arabs, Ottomans and British. Each occupier claimed the land as their own, further obscuring its true heirs. Modern narratives pit Zionist Jews against Palestinians, leaving the true descendants of Israel, scattered through the transatlantic slave trade and the diaspora, erased from the conversation. The identity hijack, how Edom took over Zion. The forced conversion of the Idumeans Edomites under John Hyrcanus during the Hasmonean period circa 125 BCE, marked the beginning of a sinister identity hijack. These forced converts, including the ancestors of Herod the Great, outwardly adopted Torah practices but never fully embraced the covenant. By the time Herod rose to power, the Idumeans had taken control of Judea's political and religious institutions. Herod, an Idumean puppet of Rome, rebuilt the Second Temple, not as a spiritual act, but as a political maneuver to legitimize his rule. Under Herodian influence, Israel's identity became a tool for power and control. This period also saw the rise of Pharisaic traditions, which emphasized oral laws over the written Torah. These oral traditions later evolved into the Talmud, a man-made system that distanced itself from the true covenantal faith of the Israelites. By the time the temple was destroyed in 70 CE, the stage was set for a counterfeit version of Israelite identity to dominate the narrative, replacing Yahweh, turning a covenant into religion. The Israelites never practiced a religion in the modern sense. Their way of life was rooted in covenant, a direct relationship with Yahweh that governed every aspect of their existence. But this way of life was systematically replaced. Under Roman influence, Christianity adopted replacement theology, claiming the church had supplanted Israel as Yahweh's chosen people. Simultaneously, Rabbinic Judaism, rooted in the Babylonian Talmud, institutionalized a version of Israelite faith that bore little resemblance to the Torah-centered way of life Yahweh intended. The result? A world where Yahweh's laws were replaced with man-made traditions, his covenant distorted into rituals, and his name largely erased. Cultural and family erasure, scattering the true Israelites. The erasure of the Israelites didn't stop with the land or religion, it extended to the very people themselves. Through the transatlantic slave trade, the descendants of Israel were scattered across the Americas, the Caribbean and beyond. Families were torn apart, languages lost, and traditions forgotten. Colonial powers deliberately stripped these scattered Israelites of their identity, teaching them false narratives that disconnected them from their heritage. At the same time, they elevated Ashkenazi Jews and Palestinians as the heirs of Israel's story, leaving the true Israelites hidden in plain sight. Psalm 83:3 says, "They have taken crafty counsel against your people, and consulted together against your hidden ones." The hidden ones are the descendants of Israel, Black, Latino and Native peoples, whose true identity has been obscured by centuries of lies. The abomination of replacement. The true abomination of desolation wasn't just the physical desecration of the temple, it was the spiritual and cultural replacement of Yahweh's covenant people. The Romans, Herodians and their successors turned Israelite identity into a tool for political and religious manipulation. This is why today the world is confused. Zionists claim the land, Palestinians claim oppression, and the true Israelites are left fighting to reclaim what was stolen. The abomination of replacement turned a way of life into a religion, a covenant into a commodity, and Yahweh's people into the forgotten. The awakening, reclaiming the truth. But the story doesn't end with replacement, it ends with restoration. Prophecies like Ezekiel 37, the Valley of Dry Bones and Hosea speak of a time when the true Israelites would awaken. In the place where it was said to them, "You are not my people," there they shall be called sons of the living God. Today, scattered Israelites are rediscovering their heritage, reconnecting with Torah, and reclaiming their identity. The awakening is unstoppable, and the truth is being revealed. Conclusion: the truth will be known. The abomination of replacement was never just about land, religion, or politics. It was about stealing the essence of a people chosen by Yahweh. But as the awakening grows, the lies are crumbling, and the true Israelites are rising. The world may have forgotten, but Yahweh never did. The time of desolation is over. The hidden ones are coming to light, and the truth will no longer be denied. The real Israelites are here, and the world will know it. All praises to the Most High. Written by Christopher Turner, founder and editor-in-chief of Heritage Weekly, pioneering covenant theology researcher, and principal contributor to Rediscovering Israel, focusing on Israelite heritage, covenant theology and ancient scriptures. Creator of the AIP after Yahawashi's Passover calendar system, a unique biblical timekeeping method based on Yahawashi's death and Passover, aligning with lunar cycles and prophecy, particularly Daniel 9. Author of Jacob's Trouble, The Birth of a King, The Freedom Articles, Prophecy over DNA,